Welcome to another episode, everyone. Look into the eyes of a complete monster. This individual has been locked up since 1974, 52 years. That's the year that I was born. And now he wants parole from the parole board. But there's just one problem. And that would be the crime that he is in there for. Well, he killed a mother and shot her 16-year-old daughter 5 times, trying to kill her, but she was able to break loose. The only reason that he did not receive the death penalty is because Illinois at the time did not believe in the death penalty. And so he ended up getting life in prison, or life without parole, or whatever. He's been to the parole board 50 times. He goes once a year or something, trying to be paroled. And the parole board has a few questions for him. He's now 70 years old, but pure evil, really. Still, perhaps. Will they parole him? Will they let him go?
James Bremer is 70 years old and is serving a term of 100 to 200 years for each of the following convictions: the murder of Joyce Britt and the attempted murder of Miss Britt's then 16-year-old daughter. He has been incarcerated for approximately 52 years. Statement of the crime. On November 25th, 1974, Chicago police officers responded to a 911 call of a girl being shot. When they arrived, the officers saw an injured 16-year-old girl, the daughter, screaming, "They killed my mother." The officers proceeded to the second-floor apartment and saw that it had been ransacked. They also saw the body of her mother, 35-year-old Joyce Britt, who they observed had several gunshot wounds to her head and body. She was transported to St. Mary's Hospital, where she was pronounced dead on arrival. Miss Britt's daughter was also transported to that hospital for treatment of 5 gunshot wounds. The daughter told police that she knew 2 of the offenders, Ricardo Norrells and James Bremer, and was able to identify them. When she returned home at approximately 1:30 in the afternoon, she knocked on her apartment door. Co-offender Mr. Norrells, known to her as Carl, eventually opened the door. When she entered, she observed that the apartment appeared all messed up. At this point, her mother, Miss Britt, came running out of the bedroom. She was naked and pursued by Mr. Bremer, known to her as James, and the third offender, who she did not know. Mr. Bremer was brandishing a pistol. The third offender made the daughter remove her coat and forced her into a bedroom. There she struggled with him while he began beating and choking her. She finally relented after her mother told her, "Do as they say." All 3 offenders, including Mr. Bremer, then raped her in the bedroom. She stated that Mr. Bremer raped her for about 10 minutes. Afterwards, she was allowed to go to the bathroom, where she noticed her face was severely injured from being beaten by the men. Upon returning, she saw her mother crying and bleeding from her head. When she sat next to her mother, Mr. Norrells asked the 2 women if they had any money. Her mother gave Mr. Norrells a check from her purse and told Mr. Bremer that it was all the money that she had. Mr. Norrells then ordered the mother to go into a bedroom with him. Soon thereafter, the daughter heard 3 gunshots coming from the bedroom where Mr. Norrells had taken the mother. Mr. Norrells summoned Mr. Bremer into that bedroom, and the third offender remained with the daughter, holding her at gunpoint. Then the daughter heard another gunshot. Both Mr. Norrells and Mr. Bremer returned to the living room. The daughter slid off the chair that she was sitting in onto the floor, and Mr. Norrells instructed the third offender, "Go get her." After struggling with him, the daughter was shot in the leg 2 times. She was then shot in the neck. She slumped to the floor and pretended she was dead. The 3 men fled. She remained on the floor for about 5 minutes and then saw her mother. She began screaming and made her way to a neighbor, who called the police. The daughter was able to inform the police the names of James Bremer and Ricardo Norrells and the area where they were known to hang out. She identified them both in photographs. Mr. Norrells was arrested the following day at his home. Mr. Bremer was arrested about 5 weeks later after he had been charged with battery in an unrelated case on January 2nd, 1975. I had the opportunity to interview Mr. Bremer on January 22nd, 2026 for approximately 50 minutes by video from Pontiac Correction Center. Zachary Bass, his son, was also present and testified in support of his father's release. At the time of our interview, both Mr. Bremer and I were under the mistaken belief that Mr. Bremer's mandatory supervised release date was July 17th, 2027. However, Mr. Bremer subsequently was advised that the correct mandatory supervised release date is November 4th, 2065. During our interview, Mr. Bremer spoke at length about his failing health, stating that he has a small cell lung cancer, which is now in remission. He also stated that he has COPD and that he can barely breathe. In addition, he indicated that he has numerous infusions every 5 to 6 weeks for bowels that are related to an abdominal aneurysm. He states, in summary, he's in bad health. During our interview, Mr. Bremer denied that he had anything to do with these crimes and stated that he did not know anything about it. He also stated that he did not know the victims, and further, that he was at the movies at the time this incident occurred. Although he has been known to make inconsistent statements over the years, Mr. Bremer has maintained his innocence since the time of his arrest. He stated that he is a better person than he was at 18 years of age. He also stated that he's been comforted by receiving communications from individuals in the community acknowledging, in particular Katie Heath, acknowledging that she believed he is a different person from the 18-year-old person who committed these crimes. Institutional adjustment. Mr. Bremer has had an extensive...
Wow, he got a lot going on there, man. It's not looking good for him. This is the YouTube channel Mandu, my guy Mandu. Go check him out, man. He does all of these parole board hearings for individuals who've been locked up and trying to go home. And we just heard these dastardly crimes that this individual here is charged with. Not only charged with, convicted of. He's still denying it, but as the parole board member there said, he has been denying it from day one. So he's been denying that he was guilty for 52 years. Nevertheless, she said that he's had inconsistent stories. I don't know. He's convicted of this. The daughter said that she knew him, that she knows him, knew him, and that's how she was able to identify him, get the police his name. And it looks like whomever it was certainly trying to kill the daughter because perhaps she knew who they were and they didn't want to leave a witness. And so, as we just heard, she was shot twice in the leg and then in the neck and played dead. They got out of there. But we heard what happened before that as well. The young daughter was assaulted by all three men, I believe she had said, and said that Bremer, this dude here, assaulted her for 10 minutes. We heard that the mother came running out of the bedroom, stark naked, and, them chasing her out of the bedroom or whatever when the daughter had came in and seen this. And then they, got the daughter, got her under control, even though she was fighting back. And the mother says, stop fighting back, do as they say. She's trying to protect her child, of course. Then they take the mother in a different room. Didn't want to kill the mother in front of the daughter. Guess they got her heart after all, huh? Took the mother in a separate room, heard 3 shots. And then this dude go in the room, or someone, he's accused of it, Bremer, going in there and letting off one more shot. Perhaps the mother wasn't dead, or he wanted to make sure she was dead, or he just wanted to get off a shot too. And then that's, nah. No, that's all bad. I'm sorry. And he was 18 years old when this crime happened and when he was convicted of the crime. Well, I don't know how old he was when he was convicted. He was 18 years old, I guess, when the crime happened. Something like that. Again, he's 70 years old now, about to be 70 years old. And as we can hear, he's in failing health. He has lung cancer that is in remission, a stomach aneurysm, and something else going on, some very serious health conditions. But I don't think that the parole board cares about that or is going to have much mercy on that, considering these charges. It's going to be hard for them to get past this, even though it's been 52 years, even though people can redeem themselves. This kind of charge right here, what he's accused of, nah, he's cooked for the rest of his life. It's over.
Disciplinary history with IDOT over his 50 years in custody. Specifically, he's had more than 350 institutional infractions,
Damn.
although only 3 tickets since 2017. His last ticket in 2023 was for theft. During the course of his incarcerations, Mr. Bremer has committed staff assaults in 1980 and 1993 and has been placed in segregation 31 times. His possession of a homemade shank in 2029 at the age of 52 resulted in a disciplinary transfer from Hill Correctional Center, a medium security, to Pontiac Correctional Center, which is a maximum security. 8 years after that transfer, at the age of 60, he received 6 months in segregation for assaulting another individual in custody by striking the individual in the head and face. He was classified as high maximum security and moderate escape risk as recently as February 2021, but is currently classified as a minimum security, no escape risk. He is currently in protective custody group 2 status, holds a job in the kitchen, and has since June of 2020.
And protective custody status, I bet, because that crime right there will cost you your life. Shooting a 16-year-old child, raping the child, all 3 of them. Yeah, he's been in PC the whole time. That's how he's been able to survive 52 years. But as we can see, this individual is getting in a lot of situations, even there in protective custody. He has 350 write-ups, 350? Damn. He's been in segregation 31 times. The whole administrative segregation, 31 times. I mean, he has been in there for 52 years. That's less than 1 time a year. That's nearly a half a time a year. So, but still, that's a lot. And he's spending some time there, 6 months, and on one occasion, had a knife, had to be transferred to a maximum security prison, was considered high risk for escape just recently, but in this health and all that, they dropped it back down to minimum risk or minimum security. He's not about to escape anywhere. But you can see how they're bringing all of this up. He assaulted another inmate. Everything that you do, they brought up something from 1980 and 1993. Everything that you do there in prison, you're trying to come home, you want to get out. This is why individuals with a life sentence say, man, I'm trying to stay out of trouble. I can't get in no trouble. I can't get in any trouble because the parole board is not going to let me out. I go to the parole board trying to come home, they're going to say no. Because reasons like this, they're going to bring it up. When you're trying to parole, first, of course, talked about the crime that he was in there on, but then now she's about to justify why she's not about to let him go. Because that was 52 years ago. But this here shows a pattern of violence, that you're still violent, perhaps. These 350 infractions, even though it's been 52 years, that's still a lot of infractions. And so, good luck.
Mr. Bremer had no prior criminal history beyond the offenses of his conviction and the arrest for a battery described above. His parole plans are to probably live with his son, Zachary Bass, if released. He states that he does not believe, James Bass states that he does not believe his father committed the crime. He states that he was help his father find a job and ultimately his own apartment. Both the brothers, Zachary and James, have a towing business, and it was indicated that Mr. Bremer could work in assisting with the truck, working on trucks and repairs. Mr. James also indicated that that he has a role in the church and that Mr. Bremer could work as a janitor in the church if he was interested. The en banc history is that he has been denied parole on 23 occasions and has never received a vote from a PRB member in support of being released. That concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Ms. Schaffner. Is there any Question.
Okay, so he's been denied parole 23 times.
From any board members in regards to Ms. Schaffner's presentation? Seeing no questions, I will now go to Mr. Brimmer.
Yes, sir.
Raise your hand.
Yes. Oh, yes. Mr. Brimmer, can you please raise your right hand and please stand as we get you sworn in for testimony?
My name,
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you will give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
yes, I do.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bremer.
Hey, how you doing, man?
You now have an opportunity to address the entire board of the Prisoner Review Board. Is there anything that you want to say that has not already been said?
I'm talking about everything been said that I said from the time I started coming to the board, which was in 1985. Even in court, I said the same thing I'm saying now. And I'm a different person than what I was. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to see tomorrow. I put my life in God's hand, first of all. And like I said, I was a kid when I first came into the county jail to the system. I've been gone 50-some years. All my 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s gone. Whatever left for me to do, I try to go out there and do better than what I doing at first, or give me a chance to try to reach one youth and turn their life around so they won't end up in the system like me. And that's all I can say. I don't know. I gotta go to the hospital tomorrow. So like I said, I got small cell lung cancer, COPD.
Said he want to teach the youth. Y'all gonna give me a chance so I can get out and teach the youth.
Corona, my bowels, I'm messed up. And I'm asking, just give me a chance and see what type of person I'm turn out to be. I know I'll never come back here. I know I'll never commit another crime, as long as I'm living. And just like you stated, see, I could never do that to any female, because I had a mother, sister, auntie, grandmother. Females in my family been in my family. And that's all I've been raised as female in my father. But I would never commit a crime towards them or no one.
So he's still denying it.
All I'm asking for is a chance.
Still denying it.
Just one chance. I don't know.
One thing I know about the parole board is they don't want to let you go until you admit to the crime. That's for sure. That's even if you're not guilty. They say that you have not learned your lesson. You have not learned anything, that you are still skirting accountability if you don't admit to the crime. So that's been a long going thing, at least in California, that the parole board will not let you go home if you do not admit to the crime, first of all, and then, show some sort of remorse for it. But as long as you are denying it, saying that you didn't do it, it's been 52 years, you still saying that you didn't do it. They didn't have you in there for 52 years. It happens. They didn't put people to death and turned out that these individuals were innocent. So it happens. I don't know the particulars of this case, but, that's fine. But as long as you deny it, and you may be denying it because you're not guilty. That's, hey, whatever it is. But as long as you're not, they're not letting you go.
How long I got left on this earth? Because I be going back and forth to the hospital for my health.
Well, thank you for your testimony. Colleagues, do you have any questions? All right, then, Cook County.
Turn on the stove. They're about to cooking.
Good afternoon. My name is Courtney Quam. I'm an assistant state's attorney at the Cook County State's Attorney's Office, which does oppose any granting of parole in Mr. Brimmer's case. While he has made several inconsistent statements regarding this crime over the years, none of those have been expressions of remorse, apology, or accountability. And as we all just heard, he claims that he never committed this crime. He was identified by Pamela Britt, who was familiar with him and knew who he was.
Could I say something?
No.
Mr. Brimmer,
No, sir.
at this time, no. We have Ms.
Okay.
Quam, she's making her statement. Please remain silent at this time. Thank you.
Is there anything else?
Parole is not deserved when a petitioner takes no responsibility for their actions, especially actions as brutal and callous as these. The horror that Mr. Brimmer and Mr. Norals, whose parole hearing we did, I believe, last year.
But based upon my review and for all reasons previously stated, it is my assessment, despite his length of incarceration, Mr. Ricardo Norales has not advanced to a point where he should be granted parole, at least at this time. Therefore, my motion is to deny the parole release of Ricardo Norales.
Is raw on Joyce and Pamela Britt it cannot be understated. And Mr. Brimmer was
That's his crime then. That's his co-defendant that they had just denied parole to last year. A totally different parole board.
a principal actor throughout this crime. Mr. Brimmer would be eligible for a natural life sentence if he had committed this crime today, because this crime was exceptionally brutal and heinous behavior indicative of wanton cruelty. The interests of justice are served by Mr. Brimmer's incarceration. Pamela and her family deserve to know that Mr. Brimmer is being held accountable for the sexual violence he inflicted on her and her mother. Thank you. And respectfully, we request that his petition for parole be denied.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, Mr. Brimmer, is there anything that,
One moment, we have one more witness who would like to share.
Office. If Mr. Brimmer is granted parole, we are asking for a 90-day stay for an evaluation under the Sexually Violent Persons Commitment Act.
thank you.
Mr. Brimmer, I'm going to make one statement, and then I'll allow you to offer a statement in response to the state's attorney's opposition. Okay. I conducted the protest hearing for this case. As this case came up last year, I recognized one of the victims as the parents of a good friend of mine from high school. And so due to that, I will be recusing myself from the vote for this case, and just want to put that on record. But there was significant opposition, and we discussed that in closed session.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Mr. Brimmer, is there anything that you wanted to say in rebuttal to what the state's attorney stated?
Yes, I do. Because October the 3rd, 1975, I was in front of Judge Fred D. Siri. Now, I done wrote for forensic science, trying to get documents and place. They tell me they have no evidence in storage. And I'm just trying to prove my innocence. But like I said, whatever happened, my life is in God's hands. And to rebuttal to that, which I was given a court order to take fingerprints.
Your life is in their hands right now.
Fred D. Siri courtroom, and which
Not God.
they denied the fact that they even took place. I'm talking about, you better tell me. I don't know. I'm just saying, God, please shine your light on me this time.
Oh yeah, Jesus.
Thank
Jesus.
you, sir. I have nothing further. Kyle.
White Jesus did
Is there
it.
any other comments, questions, or discussions?
No, let's get
this
on with
case?
The stove getting hot.
Seeing none, I'll now go back to Ms. Schaffner for motion.
All righty. Given the heinous nature of the crime, the lack of accountability, to consider parole at this time would deprecate the seriousness of the offense. Accordingly, in addition to all the other items identified in the statute, it is my motion to deny parole.
Second.
Motion is made to deny. It's been seconded by Mr. Boland. Please call the vote.
Ms. Schaffner,
Yes.
Ms. Torres, Mr. Tupy,
Yes.
Mr. Boland,
Yes.
Ms. Buckley, Mr. Grubbs,
Yes.
Mr. Heaton,
Yes.
Ms. Lemons,
Yes.
With a vote of 8-0, 1 vote abstaining, motion to deny parole passes.
Cooked.
Thank you, Mr. Bremer, and good luck with your health challenges.
Good luck with your health.
All right. Thank you.
Oh, State,
Is there,
He said, all right, thank you. And I guess ain't nothing else he can say. 8-0 with 1 abstaining. 8-0, parole denied. He's done. He's never getting out. He's not going to have a chance. 52 years, and when they come up against you with the opposition with the parole board, you see what the lady was saying, he's not taking accountability. He was identified. Yeah, many stories. They're never going to let it go. And this is indeed a particularly heinous crime. So, he's lucky he did not receive the death penalty. They had floated the idea of the death penalty, but again, where he was at the time, they couldn't give it to him. If they had it their way, they'd give him the death penalty. So, let me know what you think in the comments. He says that he's innocent. He's not taking any accountability. This is really what cooked him. At least part of what cooked him in the end. He's probably going to be cooked regardless. Even when he says, oh, yeah, I did it. Is it, hell, how much longer does he even have? He's only 70 years old. About to be 70. I think he said he's 70, but he's in failing health. Absolutely failing health. He has 1 tooth in his mouth. That motherfucker all the way over here on the bottom, all bad. So I don't know how much longer he even gonna be able to hold up. He's been through a lot in there, 350 write-ups and segregation, the whole 31 times. Had some assault against staff too, but he was younger. He went in there when he was 18. Who knows what he had to do, fight for himself, defend himself, and all that. But he was in protective custody because of the charges. He can't be on the main line. He's been dead a long time ago. But there you have it, he's done. 8-0, parole denied. Stay safe and stay free, people.